Imagine 45 elite modern killer whales suddenly being transported 12 million years into the past. Not into an empty ocean, not into a world waiting to be conquered, but into one of the most dangerous marine ecosystems Earth has ever known. The moment they emerge from a glowing rift deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, everything feels wrong. The water is warmer, the currents feel unfamiliar. Even the air above the surface seems different. For animals perfectly adapted to the cold oceans of the modern world, this prehistoric sea is a hostile environment from the very beginning. Their thick layers of blubber, which normally protect them from freezing temperatures, now become a disadvantage. Their bodies heat up rapidly. Every movement requires more energy. Every breath feels heavier than it should. The pod immediately dives deeper, searching for relief. But relief never comes, because something else is already aware of their arrival. Far below them, massive shadows begin moving through the darkness. Ancient predators, creatures that ruled these oceans millions of years before humans ever existed. At first, the killer whales remain cautious. They stay together. They communicate through sonar. They assess the situation exactly as modern apex predators would. But this ocean operates under different rules. The disturbance created by the temporal rift has attracted attention from every major hunter in the region. And unlike modern ecosystems, these predators have no reason to tolerate outsiders. From the depths emerge giant sharks. Massive marine hunters approach from the open water. Ancient predators that normally compete against one another suddenly find themselves focused on the same target. The newcomers, the intruders, the strangers from another age. For perhaps the first time in their evolutionary history, the killer whales are no longer near the top of the food chain. The attack begins almost immediately. The whales react with remarkable discipline. They spread into defensive formations. Experienced adults move toward the outer edges of the pod, while younger and weaker members remain protected in the center. Every individual understands its role. Every movement serves a purpose. This is the advantage that made killer whales successful across the modern world. They do not rely on size alone. They rely on teamwork. But the prehistoric predators possess something equally dangerous: raw power. Many of them outweigh the whales several times over. Their jaws are larger, their bodies are heavier, and they have spent millions of years evolving specifically for survival in this brutal environment. The first clashes are devastating. Several whales sacrifice themselves to buy time for the rest of the pod. Others launch diversion attacks, drawing predators away from injured companions. The ocean quickly becomes a battlefield. Blood spreads through the water. Communication becomes difficult. The whales attempt to break through the encirclement again and again. Each attempt fails. The ancient hunters slowly tighten their grip. Minutes pass, then more losses. The pod continues shrinking. Exhaustion begins spreading through the survivors. Some carry deep wounds. Others struggle simply to keep swimming. Yet despite everything, they refuse to abandon one another. The strongest remain on the outside. The injured remain protected in the center. Every decision is made for the survival of the group. That determination becomes their greatest weapon. Eventually, only a fraction of the original pod remains capable of fighting. The situation appears hopeless. Every route is blocked. Every escape attempt has failed. The prehistoric predators seem moments away from victory. Then something unexpected happens. The pod leader turns toward the unstable temporal rift that brought them into this era. The fracture in reality has not fully closed. A faint connection still exists between past and present. With the last of his strength, the leader releases an enormous sonar call directly into the anomaly. The signal does not travel through ordinary water. It travels through time itself, across millions of years, across the boundaries separating past and present. For a moment, nothing happens. Then the rift begins to react. Light spreads through the ocean. The fracture expands. Energy surges through the water. And from inside that glowing gateway comes an answer. Far away in the modern world, other killer whale pods heard the distress call. They could not understand how, they could not understand why, but they recognized its meaning. One of their own needed help. Across multiple oceans, pods responded. Veteran hunters, experienced adults, some of the most successful predators alive today. Together, they entered the anomaly. And now, they arrive. Hundreds of killer whales burst through the glowing rift, a black and white army emerging from another age. The balance of power changes instantly. The prehistoric predators expected frightened prey. Instead, they find themselves facing a coordinated force unlike anything their world has ever seen. Information spreads rapidly among the arriving whales. The survivors communicate everything they have learned: strengths, weaknesses, attack patterns, escape routes. Within minutes, chaos transforms into strategy. The newcomers immediately organize into specialized groups. Some focus on distraction, others focus on harassment. Several teams attack from multiple angles simultaneously. The goal is simple: turn the enemy's greatest strengths into weaknesses. The battle enters a completely new phase. The prehistoric giants still possess superior size, but the whales possess something far more dangerous: collective intelligence. Unlike their opponents, they do not fight as individuals. They fight as a network. Every whale contributes to a larger plan. Every movement supports the group. Every attack serves a purpose. The ancient predators begin struggling to adapt. The whales constantly change direction. They rotate positions. They attack vulnerable areas and retreat before a counterattack can arrive. Large size suddenly becomes a disadvantage. Slow reactions become vulnerabilities. Predictable behavior becomes a liability. The battle that once seemed hopeless slowly begins turning in the whale's favor. Hours pass. The ocean becomes a war zone. Ancient rulers that once dominated these waters find themselves overwhelmed by an opponent they never evolved to counter. Not because the whales are individually stronger, but because they are stronger together. One by one, the prehistoric giants begin falling. The first disappearance seems impossible. Then another follows. Then another. Confidence spreads through the whale formation. For the first time since arriving, victory appears within reach. But one final challenge remains. The oldest predator in the region. A massive veteran that has survived decades of conflict. Unlike the others, it refuses to retreat. Instead, it launches directly into the center of the whale formation. The collision throws the battlefield into chaos. Several whales are scattered. Others narrowly avoid devastating attacks. For a brief moment, the carefully organized strategy begins unraveling. The giant predator fights with complete disregard for his own safety. It is no longer hunting. It is simply trying to destroy everything around it. But the whales adapt once again. New commands spread through the group. Fresh attack angles appear. The formation reorganizes. Pressure builds from every direction. Slowly, the giant begins losing momentum. Its attacks become weaker. Its movements become slower. Its strength starts fading. And eventually, after hours of relentless fighting, the final prehistoric ruler falls. Silence returns to the ocean. The surviving whales remain motionless. Not celebrating. Not searching for another battle. Simply recovering. The cost of victory has been enormous. Many never survived to see the outcome. The survivors gather around their fallen companions, touching them gently, remaining close, as if saying goodbye. Eventually, the fallen are carried into deeper water, a final resting place in a world that never belonged to them. Only then do the survivors begin exploring their surroundings. And what they discover is astonishing. The prehistoric ocean is overflowing with life. Food is abundant. Competition has disappeared. For the first time since arriving, survival seems possible. Perhaps they can truly thrive here. Perhaps they can become the new rulers of this ancient sea. But while the whales celebrate their survival, something far more dangerous is happening. The temporal rift has not closed. In fact, it is growing. The arrival of hundreds of whales has destabilized the fracture. The strain placed on space and time becomes too great. Reality itself begins to crack. Blue energy spreads through the ocean. The water starts behaving strangely. Light bends in impossible ways. Reflections appear where they should not exist. Different moments seem to overlap. The whales sense the danger immediately. This threat is unlike any predator. No teeth, no claws, no jaws. Only the collapse of reality itself. The fracture continues expanding. The ocean fills with strange blue light. Past and present begin bleeding together. And only now do the whales realize the terrible truth. They won the battle, but they may have created something far worse. Because if this doorway reaches the modern world, it will not bring back a single predator. It could bring back entire ecosystems, entire ages, entire forgotten worlds. The blue light spreads across the horizon, the fracture tears wider, and as reality begins collapsing around them, the whales release one final cry into the ocean. Not a cry of victory, not a cry of defeat, but a warning. Because somewhere in the future, a door is opening, and nobody knows what will come through it.